This video is only for people who are actually serious about their gym journey. If you're watching this and you're like half-assing your workouts, you're not actually training hard, you're skipping some days, you're having excuses about, eating the junk food, you need to, instead of tackling this problem I'm about to present in this video, tackle the actual problem. So if you're not taking this shit serious, that is your problem. You get to that, you fix that up, you know what I'm saying? You level up, come back to this video. So if you're serious about the gym journey, stick to the end. All right, we're going to discuss a few things. Number 1, tracking your body weight. Number 2, tracking the weight that you push in the gym. Number 3, tracking how many sets you do per muscle group per week. Tracking how many reps you get in. Tracking how much exercise you actually do. 5 times per week, 6 times per week. How many hours should you sleep? I'm not that experienced. Okay, I've been training for more than a year, but I've taken this serious the past 7 to 8 months. So I'm not 100% experienced, but what I can do for you is, especially if you're a beginner, I could help you out a lot because I've been there. And I haven't been there 3 years ago. I've been there like 5 months ago, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a clarification. I'm not 100% there, but I'm getting there. And I'm trying to teach the people right below me. So, yeah. All right, now before we get too complicated, start by tracking your body weight. And I talk about bulking and cutting in my previous video. So if you're not completely sure about if you should be focused on gaining weight, gaining muscle, or if you should be focused on cutting down on the fat, check out the latest video. It is one of my best uploads so far, and it's probably going to go viral. When you wake up in the morning, you're going to take a shit, and you're going to weigh yourself. You're going to have like this. You don't have to have an app. You don't have to have like a smart scale. Go on the scale. If you don't have a scale, it's $20 on Amazon. You get it in your notes app. Okay, this is March 6, 2023. This is how much I weigh. Every morning, you take a shit because that's your actual weight. You want to get rid of the poop, you know what I'm saying? And when you take a shit, you also take a piss. So you're getting rid of that water weight. Then you weigh yourself. After you weigh yourself and whatever, you take a photo. The same angle, the same lighting, the same mirror, the same pose. You could take 3 photos a day, 5 photos a day. Make sure you track your weight so you know you're actually getting to your goal, whether that be gaining or losing. And make sure you're taking photos so you're actually looking better throughout time. And should I train harder? And you also know what muscles should you focus on more than others. Maybe you're lacking on like your triceps. Okay, do a couple extra sets per week. Maybe most people, I am lacking on my calves. Okay, train calves 3 times a week instead of 2. You know what I'm saying? You have to get on top of your weight, get on top of your actual physique, track it, and make sure you're actually reaching your goals. You don't have to track macros. You don't have to get too complicated. Just eat more if you want to gain and eat less if you want to lose. I get more into detail about this in my latest video if you're confused. All right, let's get to the actual gym part of the video. So if you want to the reason why I ask you guys to take a notepad to the gym is so that you're actually progressing. People talk about progressive overload, but the only real pen on paper way to know is if you write down how many sets, how many reps, and what is the weight. And if you are actually advanced, you would change up. The reps aren't always going to be 12. If you're doing 4x12, 3x10, you're not going to always hit that. And if you're always hitting that with the same weight, especially, you're not training hard. If you're benching 135 for 10 on the first set, and on the 4th set, you do 135 for 10, the first set, you didn't go as hard. I'm always changing the weight. I'm always hitting 11 reps. Sometimes I'm hitting 7 reps when I'm aiming for around 10. So keeping track of this actually proves that you are making progress. So next time you go to the gym, keep a pen and paper. Okay, write down the exercise name. Below that, how many sets? Below that, Okay, for the first set, how many reps? Okay, with that first set, how much weight did you put to get that amount of reps? All of this detail for every single set you do. If you're pushing so hard you can't focus on the reps, record yourself. Oh, record yourself. Most people like go throughout the 2 years, 3 years in the gym and they're pushing some shitty ass form and they don't even know it. Record yourself. Even on exercises you think you have down, like especially advanced exercises like squats and rows, make sure you record yourself and compare that to YouTube videos that tell you exactly what to do. And maybe another problem that I didn't really want to bring up in this video is that you're fucking ego lifting. I'm gonna make an entirely separate video about this. 99% of people are ego lifting on at least a couple of exercises they do. I went from curling 27s, 30s to curling 20s. And that's because I wasn't like ego lifting. I wasn't really contracting the muscle. I wasn't having the muscle under tension. This is how you curl, guys. Let me show you. So, when you have the weight, you start up here. You go down, you pause right there. You don't want to extend it all the way down because you're resting at that point. The tension is lost. If you're going down and you're resting, even if it's for like a half of a second and you're pushing back up, that half of a second loses the tension on the muscle. So I go like this. I start up here, slowly go down, stop, go up, squeeze like that. That made me go from 27s and 30s to 20s and even down to 15. It's because I'm ego lifting, or not ego lifting, but like, it took a lot of balls for me to be fucking curling 15 pounds in the gym. You know what I'm saying? That's a separate rant. I'll get to that later. Get a notepad with you and make sure that next week, the week after you track your progress, let's say it's leg day, all the leg day exercises, all the reps, the weight, the sets, next week on leg day, try and improve. It doesn't have to be the weight. It doesn't have to be the sets. It could be the reps. 135 for 10 on squats. The next week, hit it for 11. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're progressing. And if you can't get in that extra rep after 7 days, you got to go harder. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not actually building that muscle when you go and train. You have to be at least adding 1 rep. At least 1 rep on at least 1 exercise every week, or else, come on, you're just staying stagnant at that point. Especially if you're bulking. And if you've seen the last video, you should be bulking. 15, 14, 16, 17, bulk for the first 2 years. Get big as fuck, then shred down on the fat, and you could actually look good. All right, sleep, rest, and recovery. I'm not very advanced in this, but I know sleep is important, and I know that rest in between sets often is not taken as serious. Like, this is the definition about how much muscle you grow, because your muscles can only recover the muscle fibers that have been torn when it's recovered. Drink a lot of fucking water too. Okay, sleep. Most people, if you ask them how much sleep they're getting, they're gonna say around 8 hours. If they actually cared, if they're not like, staying up hella late on their phone, they're gonna say 8 hours. But if you have to wake up at 7 a.m. tomorrow, they would go to bed at around like 10:30 and then fall asleep around like 11:15. The time you spend in your bed is different from the time you spend asleep. How much time does it take for you to fall asleep? Don't bring your phone with you, because it's just a waste of time. It's going to take longer, and you're going to have to be in bed for longer if you do that. So imagine you were forced to leave your phone on the desk or whatever, no distractions. How long does it take you to go to sleep? For me personally, it takes me around like 20 minutes. So if I want to wake up at 7 and I need to fall asleep before 11, if I fall asleep 11 o'clock on the dot, that's 8 hours. But you wake up in the middle of the night, the quality of sleep isn't very valid. 8 hours is optimal for muscle growth. I want to fall asleep maximum 11 a.m. It takes me about 20 minutes. Okay, 10:40. But I need to get ready and all that. I need a shower. So 10:20, I get ready. But that extra 20 minutes of sleep, because I wake up in the middle of the night. Okay, so get ready for bed by 10, get in bed 10:30. You have 30 minutes to fall asleep. In those 30 minutes, if you haven't fallen asleep, or if you have fallen asleep, you get 8 hours. This is some serious calculation. To summarize it all up, the time you wake up, do 8 hours before that, and then minus an hour. And when that hour hits, okay, drop everything you're doing and get ready for bed. Sleep is actually important. You don't want to be running on 6 hours of sleep when you're training heavy in the gym, especially if you're actually going hard, because you need that muscle recovery. Your muscles cannot recover the fibers if you're running on 6 hours. Get this shit serious. For rest in between sets, it's different for everyone. You could say that generic, politically correct answer. It's different for everyone. 2 minutes on compound movements, on isolation movements like bicep curls and pull downs, and rows, not rows, those are compound. Isolation movement like wrist curl, whatever. When you're only targeting one muscle, that's 1 minute. Compound movements, squats, deadlifts, benches, chest press, 2 minutes. Keep it short, keep it simple. If it's feeling too long, chop it down by a couple of seconds or 10 seconds or so. If it's feeling too short, add up some. It's obviously different for everyone, but this is general advice. Compound movements, 2 minutes. Isolation movements, 1 minute. Did I say 2 movements? You know what I mean, 2 minutes. The soonest you wake up, you take a shit and you weigh yourself and you take a picture. Same angle, same camera, same photo, same shading, same angle, same lighting. When you're in the gym, bring a notepad. Track how much you weigh, first off, how much weight you are pushing, how many reps you get, how many sets you do, and what exercises you do. How much muscle groups are you targeting per week? If you're hitting bench press 2 times a week, you're hitting your chest, and that's 4 sets, you're hitting your chest 8 times. But if you also add chest press with the dumbbells, not bench press, you're doing it 16 times if you're doing 4 sets. You could double that just by adding one exercise, doubling your muscle chest growth. Track your weight, track your reps, track your sets, and track how much exercise you do, how much muscle groups target. Bring a notepad to the gym. For rest, 1 minute compound or 1 minute isolation and 2 minute compound. Make sure you're going to bed 9 hours before you're supposed to wake up. If you're trying to wake up at 6 a.m., get ready for bed and drop everything. In the middle of something, drop everything at 9 p.m. so you get that 8 hours guaranteed. This was Marcus Blake. Bring a notepad to the gym, track your weight, take pictures of yourself. Take a shit in the morning so you're not interrupted by a shit mid-workout. I'll catch y'all boys later.